It's been nearly a week now since dozens of Centreville families were forced to evacuate their homes after a house exploded in their neighborhood. Today, Washington Gas said they have plans to bring people back to their homes, but did not give a time frame. And as you can imagine, homeowners are confused and upset. Tonight, they pressed Washington Gas for answers during a virtual community meeting. News 4's Drew Wilder has the latest.
We are getting a new sense of the eroding trust the Centreville community has in Washington Gas as this week-long disaster stretches into the weekend. Friday afternoon, News 4 was invited to take part in a community Zoom meeting where neighbors were sharing their concerns and frustrations about being evacuated, having their gas shut off, and others that just want answers and assurances that their family is safe. We're not going to share anyone's name, we're going to blur everyone's face, but sharing their story is critical to understanding the scope of the failure that led to a house explosion on Sunday and why this community feels like Washington Gas continues to fail them as the search for the gas leak continues.
Come here! Get off the street!
Neighbors tell News 4 several calls were placed to Washington Gas on Sunday morning, reporting the smell of natural gas. Neighbors say Washington Gas crews were in their neighborhood as early as 9 o'clock Sunday morning.
They were digging something in the yard. We saw that at 6:30 in the evening.
About 3 hours later, the house exploded.
And had one of my guys walk in to turn the valve.
That they were on site when it happened, when the explosion took place. I've heard from someone else that they tried to leave and that they had to be prevented from leaving the scene by either fire or police.
News 4 has heard from multiple people who say they saw Washington Gas crews attempting to leave the explosion scene. All week long, News 4 has asked Washington Gas for specifics, but the company defers to the NTSB, citing the ongoing federal investigation. On Wednesday, the NTSB held a joint press conference with Fairfax County Fire and Rescue, and the group was asked if anyone from Washington Gas was there to answer questions too. No. The look on the NTSB spokesperson paired with his silence actually says quite a lot. Now a frustrated community is calling the company out. Fire and rescue crews confirmed gas is leaking from a pipe owned and maintained by Washington Gas, but the specific location hasn't been found. Best guess, as of Wednesday, was a 1,000-foot stretch near the site of the explosion. But then this happened.
They made it seem like they isolated the cause and narrowed the focus. But then they're down Buggy Whip at the other end of our street. They were digging up holes, and when asked, they were very elusive.
News 4 saw that too on Thursday. We spoke with the homeowner there.
Last night, for them to find a small leak, like on the meter of my house, that's also terrifying.
Another leak? The only leak? Washington Gas won't say. Today, Washington Gas sent a letter to the community saying in part, quote, "Our immediate focus is supporting those affected and ensuring the continued safety of our system."
We can't trust that the guy that shows up is going to actually do something because as has been said, they didn't knock on doors, they didn't call 911, and the house exploded.
Washington Gas is covering the hotel expenses of families who have been evacuated and others who have had their gas shut off. Fairfax County Fire and Rescue tells me that some of the families who have been evacuated have been notified that they can start moving back into their homes, but neighbors tell me that most of those families don't feel safe to do that. Reporting in Centreville, Drew Wilder, News 4.